All right, we should be live. And welcome to the FC 13 podcast, first ever watch along as we get you ready for this year's World Cup in Qatar. It's a very exciting one. We got Qatar. Oh wow, I was playing myself in the background. Shows how amateur we are, Paul. So yeah,
Now,
we're 15 minutes till kickoff. Canada's set to play the World Cup host, which I think is a very exciting game. It's our first game outside of CONCACAF since 2020, where we played Iceland. And it's our first time outside of CONCACAF because even when we played Iceland, it was in the CONCACAF region. It was played in America. This is our first game um, since we played, who was it, New Zealand in 2018. That was outside of CONCACAF. So this is an exciting one. What do you think, Paul?
ooh, boys on tour, boys trip. They're getting look at them, Michael. Look at them. They're going out there. They've graduated CONCACAF. They get to see the big wide world. They've gone all the way to Austria with its tall mountains and other stuff in Austria.
I was about to say, they got the chocolate, but no, that's Switzerland.
They've got tall mountains, good chocolate, and good beer, which could be a number of European countries, but Austria is one of them.
Yeah, yes, that's true. If anyone's watching along, drop your comments in the chat. Me and Paul will answer them. We're about 15 minutes till kickoff. We'll answer any questions you have. But I'm gonna go with you, Paul. What's your thoughts on the starting 11 for Canada?
It's not too surprising, I guess. I did have a feeling that as much as I want to see the fun, chaotic lineups that could have been possible, I don't think it was ever off the cards that Johnny Herman was going to play anything other than his strongest team for this. They want to maintain that team chemistry and bond as much as possible going to the World Cup. Like the guys who have came into the side right now, Piet and Hoylett, are who you'd expect to be the next men's up in those positions. So yeah, not too surprising. I do hope at halftime, like international friendlies at halftime, it always seems to be a case of just managers pressing shuffle on their team selections in terms of who comes on at that point. So I'm weirdly looking forward more to the second half in a way because I want to see some of these other players play. Like I know that Borjan's good. I know that Adakubi's good. I know that Starkio's good. I know that Davis is good. I know that David's good. But I want to see what guys like St. Clair can do, Corbineau, Waterman, Koleosho. I want to see some unfamiliar faces get some game time here as well.
I was muted, wasn't I? I'll go back. Oh my god, this is clearly our first stream. So yes, it's not particularly the lineup I would have went with because I would have liked to see Joel Waterman. I would like to see Joel Waterman get some minutes because I don't know if you want to see him playing against Uruguay. But that being said, I'm sure he'll get minutes in this. It's a friendly. I don't believe they'll have limits to their subs. So we'll probably see a lot of players in and out. The goaltending one is the one that's a question for me. Milan Borjan gets top quality minutes most nights. So for him to get the Qatar game instead of maybe Kripo or St. Clair is a little bit not weird because again it's predictable. And obviously people might have their hands up in air if Borjan isn't playing, but we know what Borjan has. Do we know what these other two have at an international level? Definitely not Sinclair. So we'll see.
It's very up in the air, that position. Like you would have thought this time last year that like that position of Canada's next goalkeeper after Borjan was pretty wrapped up, but St. Clair has just been like a beast for Minnesota this year. I was watching some of his highlights last night for as part of an article I was writing. You can find it on 13th Man Sports, and
Little plug there.
some of the saves that guy were making were spectacular. Like I love watching a great goalkeeper making great saves as much as I like watching a great goal. I think it's just a lot of fun to watch a goalkeeper at their peak, just flinging themselves at things, making unbelievable stops. I was watching his highlights against Cincinnati and Red Bull yesterday, and I really, really like him as a goalkeeper. I know he got I think he got the man of the match in the All Star game. I don't know how much that really means in an All Star game, if that's taken seriously or not. I don't watch those, but
Mhm.
I think he could be the guy after Borjan. He's got age on his side as well. He's only about 24, 25. He's the youngest out the three. I'm with you. I want to see him play. If not this game, like
Mhm.
throw him in against Uruguay.
Yeah, and
Just
that's the thing with the subs as well. Like, there's no hard in taking Boyan out at the halftime. I don't think many people would question it too much. Again, sorry. But you're right, and it's been a while where we always assumed Kripo would be the number two to Borean. We always knew that. We always assumed that. Once ever Borean decided to hand up the gloves, it was going to be Kripo. Kripo has a challenger now. Sinclair's a little bit younger. He's been having a better, at least a more recognizable season on his behalf. So we will see where Sinclair goes with this Canadian team. And he's usually our third goalie ever since what's his name? He used to play for Blackburn. Lutweiler. Holy shit!
close
If you
enough.
got,
You're the Canadian here. I'll take your
if
word
you
for it.
watch our streams, I cannot pronounce names for the life of me. So he was always our number three, but he never played, and he barely played minutes when he played over in England. So this is our first time we've really seen a third goalie rise to Canada's level of potential play. So we'll see if he gets any minutes, see if he takes over Capro. And the difficult thing is Capro plays for LAFC. They're one of the best teams, if not the best team in the MLS this season. Sinclair plays for Minnesota, but he's got called to the All Star team. It's a very Minnesota's not exactly the best team in the MLS, so he's definitely facing more challenges there, and he's been more recognizable though. So I would like to see Sinclair getting in there between either this game or Uruguay, at least for some minutes.
I mean, like it's a good problem to have, right? Oh, we've got too many good goalkeepers. What are we got to do? Like,
Yeah, that's really what it is. And it's a good thing though, and that's something we haven't seen from Canada in forever.
there's a
Is
lot of depth in a lot of positions. I think.
Yeah, and we never get that. We don't get that in Canada. It's new to us. We now have more than one striker. We now have more than one center back, and I can tell you right now. Now, last time we tried to qualify for the World Cup, we didn't have that. We had David Edgar starting at center back. We had um, Amir Didic played in 2020 when we played Iceland. Okay, and if you're watching the stream and you're not familiar with Didic, he's a center back in the CPL now, one of the best in the CPL, but CPL is still not quite up to that men's national team
Well, it's not
level.
impossible to be it's not impossible to be a CPL defender and make this Canada squad, though, is it?
It's not impossible, Mr. Joel Waterman, you sexy
The
human
water man.
being.
There's got to be a nickname in there we can come up with, right? His name's Water. There's got to be something we can come up with there.
Waterman. What? I don't know, but H2O man.
Gatorade man.
Gatorade man. Gatorade. Yeah, Joe Waterman getting called to the squad. He's one I'm very happy to see. I've been crying for it all season. In all reality, I've been crying for Joe Waterman. Um, it's finally it's about time he's been there. And there again, his connection to the CPL. He played one season with Calvary, so him now playing the last two seasons with Montreal, he's really stood out there. And again, now he's playing with Kamal Miller, he's playing with Alistair Johnson, Samuel Payet, day in and day out. We want to see that chemistry form because if you ask me, the one thing that wins you most World Cups is familiarity with your team. You
Yeah,
look at
you only have to look at the. Are we going to say the same thing here? Look at the
uh,
2010 Spain squad.
that's exactly what I was going to say. How many players played on that team that weren't on Barcelona or Real Madrid? In
I
all
think that
honesty.
the only one I think was like who really started was David Villa, who ironically signed with Barcelona that summer.
Well, exactly. And I think that's one thing that hurts a lot of teams when you're not part of that big teams like America, teams like Canada. Our big players don't play in the MLS. Our big players play in 5 or 6 different countries all across Europe, essentially. But that's what's different with Canada. We have Kamal Miller, we have Joe Waterman, we have Alistair Johnson, Samuel Payet, Ismail Kone, all on Montreal. Those are 5 players that can be on the field at once who all know each other. And then when you
I
have players like Davies and David working around those kids, that's success in the making.
Yeah, I know there's a certain guy that you and me, Michael, know very well who doesn't want to see Montreal do very well, but like I want to see, I want to see Montreal do as well as
His wife
possible.
is currently in the chat. Thank you for joining us.
I
You
want to
can
see
tell him what we
Montreal.
think.
I want to see Montreal do as well as possible for basically the same reasons there as well. Like the more success these players can have at club level, the more they'll be prepared to have success at international level.
Oh, for sure, 100%.
It looks like
And
the teams are out.
yeah, they're out there now. It looks like they're doing the anthems. We can't hear them. We have them muted, so you guys don't have to be hearing them.
Yeah, you're welcome, One Soccer.
Has One Soccer gone down on YouTube? Oh yeah, on YouTube. Yeah. So they only do the pre-game show, and then they went off play the actual game on YouTube, because why else would you pay for One Soccer if you could just watch their stuff on YouTube? But don't worry, we're free. Come on and join with us. Um, no, if you're just joining the chat, we're very excited for this game. It's our first game that we have, not just outside of CONCACAF, but since CONCACAF World Cup qualifiers, where surprisingly we dominated. I didn't expect it. I thought
And
we'd be top 4, top 5. This is something special.
I believe that was planned by John Herdman at the time, right? That was a big part of his plan, was get Canada like playing almost all the games in CONCACAF to concentrate on being a regional powerhouse. And now, like I said, they're stepping up into the big bad world against the big
Qatar.
bad yeah.
Qatar. The big bad boys of Asia. To be fair, they did win the Asian Cup just, what was it, 2 years ago?
I was trying to shoehorn a human rights joke in there, but yeah, we'll play it safe and go with that.
Depends where you want to take it. How far do you want to go? I mean,
And if
there's
you're
a
listening
lot
to this in certain countries, please get a VPN.
Qatar's about to ban our ass. That's okay, because we're not going anyways. So, I mean, if anyone wants to give us a World Cup ticket, we won't say no.
I will, but
I won't. I'm shameless, okay? You don't know what I would do to get to Canada's first World Cup game against Belgium. There is a lot I would go do, okay?
You will send Adam Levine some sex.
Jeez, yeah.
Okay, I'll get back on track.
Thank you for dropping a live link in our chat, Calabar. I hope you stay for the chat, though. Go watch the game. I don't care where you watch the game. Stay for the chat, because we're fun. It's a midday. I don't know who's drinking at 1 p.m.
Well, it's 11 o'clock here in good old Mountain Time. You know, I live near this place, and still a shiny day.
Yeah. Well, it's a little gray here where I am. I'm based in Quebec, by the way. I got some watermelon bubbly or buble. There's a lot of non-Qatar fans here. All right.
There's quite a few more Canadian fans I thought there'd be as well. Like, I'm not surprised
I honestly
by
expected a little bit more.
I
expected a little bit more. But they're all saving up for the World Cup. So
yeah,
we'll give them that reason. Save up for the World Cup.
I'm not too surprised by like what looks like the crowd in there. I think this is getting played in, based off the colours, I think that's Austria Vienna's ground.
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, Qatar's not Austria and Canada's not Austria, so that kind of makes sense. But you know what? Like, good job on all those people who went. I imagine a lot of maybe like Canadians who are living in Europe and fancied a little trip out. If anyone's made that trip across the Atlantic, all the power to you.
Yeah, no, for sure. 100%. I mean, if I could, I'd be there. But unfortunately, I can't afford to go to the World Cup. Never mind this match. I mean, I'm assuming this wouldn't be a lot cheaper. I'm not sure how that necessarily flows. How much does a friend do you think cost?
From what I understand about Europe as well, is you can basically take a train everywhere for about $1. So there's that.
I mean, when I was in England, that train I wish was $1. When I took the one from London up to the northeast, that was definitely not $1. As much as I wish it was. I don't know. You're from Scotland. What's it like the train in Scotland?
I have a car. I had a car.
Oh, you had a car. Okay, Mr. Paul over there.
I had a car, you peasants.
Mr. Fancy Scotman here. They had a car. Oh.
Yeah, I had a don't mean to brag, but I had a Vauxhall Astra. You can Google that if you don't know what that is in North America.
Oh, did you not get them here? I don't know cars. I really don't.
It's a French car. I don't really tend to get French cars in this part of the world. You guys just do more like your American and Japanese cars. Even German cars aren't as you do get them, but they're not everywhere on the roads.
And Mr. John Herman rocking his AirPods. You know.
Yeah, it's a good look. They're doing a pre-match huddle. Scott Arfield is puking as we're talking right now, seeing that. That's why that'll be why he doesn't play for Canada anymore.
I wanted to be known that Scar Arfield is one of my favorite Canadian players of all time. I absolutely love Scar Arfield. And when he stopped getting called to the roster, I understood it, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, this sucks. I want him back. And then,
Um,
and then he retired from Canadian soccer. I'm like, ah, I saw that coming. We can't stop calling on you. But I also think he kind of just stopped like answering us as well. He's like, nah, I'm not doing this.
yeah, no comment. I'm a Celtic fan. No comment.
You also have to think he had to travel so far, and I think one of the last times he was called, um, one of the last time he was called, he was never actually put onto the roster. So I don't blame him. Thoughts on Wheeler?
And we're off.
We have Frankie. Thoughts on Wheeler? Do you really want us to talk about Mr. Wheeler? Is he commentating this game? I can't hear it. Can somebody confirm if he's commentating this? Because I really don't know.
I'm going to paraphrase a famous Ottawa Senator's quote and say, he's a person.
You want me not let me spit my bubbly all over the fucking TV? Yes,
Bubbly.
he's most certainly
Bubbly, you
is.
swine.
All right, so
And Canada have the ball up the field. It looks like is it Hoylett who's got it?
I have no idea. What minute are you on? Mine just kicked off. I'm on the 20th second.
Kyle Larin. Kyle Larin's just won a corner, 45 seconds in. Nice fast start from Canada.
You are.
I like that. I like that white
20
kit.
seconds ahead of me.
I like that white kit. It's not something I'd buy because like it's basically just a white Nike T-shirt with a Canada logo on it. But like
I do. With the black one. See, I like this one. Look at this red one. Look at the nice armband. And I mean, we're not getting World Cup jerseys, but I'm okay with this. I do love this jersey.
Corner goes in. It's cleared by Qatar. Stefan
I'm gonna ask you to
recycles the
stop
play.
that. Stop commentating. You're like 20 seconds ahead of me. All right, stop it. I can't fucking stop. I'm trying to watch here.
Well, how about I be the commentator and you be what do they call it, the play-by-play guy?
Well, it's hard when you're 20 seconds ahead of me. All right, just watch the game. You can make comments on the jerseys. How about Qatar's jerseys for you? Do you like those?
So we just like we're like commentating on like a fashion runway show.
Exactly. You can make comments about players. Look, come on, Miller. What's he doing on the right wing? That's a little bit different for me.
Yeah, I'd be concerned if he was on the right wing. But Qatar play the ball up. Vitoria, calm and collective. He's been doing pretty well in the Portuguese top league this season. Like, it was unfortunate his team got relegated last year, but it's no surprise to see him get picked up by another team in that division.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be a sad day when he retires from Canada. He's 35, going on 36. But like we talked about it earlier, it's a good thing. There's a lot of depth coming through now. Like, we still have Henry, who's waiting in the wings. We've got Kennedy. We've got Waterman.
Mm-hmm. Like, Kennedy's one I'm a big fan of. Unfortunately, he almost lost his spots in the second division German league where he's playing. He's playing with Janberg. He almost missed his spot there. Recently, he's been getting back into the lineup, but for a while, they had him on the bench. So there's no surprise that he's not. Was he called to this lineup?
I think he's in the squad. Yeah, I think his problem is, and I know this isn't necessarily how it's done, but like he doesn't really play at a high profile level as much as some of the other players do. Like, a lot of these players, they play in top leagues in Europe or MLS, and like, you know, the second division in Germany is probably still a high level, but like you're not going to be making highlight reels or anything. You're not going to be making like weekly articles about how Canadians are doing. And I'm not saying go and play in the Iceland top tier as an alternative or anything, but like
no, his best bet, because he's only, was he 23? He's 25 now. So his best bet would be getting noticed in Germany, in all honesty, or coming back to the MLS. He could probably get a team in the MLS.
There's quite a few basket case clubs in Germany, like Hertha and Hamburg. You know, Schalke have got their act together, but you know, like, it only takes one of these teams to look at him and go, yeah, I'll buy him. Not saying he's bad at anything, but all I mean is Germany's pretty unpredictable like that with some of the teams.
Well, that's what I was hoping.
Canada playing really well here.
Yeah, we're doing well on possession.
Adekuri puts the ball. Oh, and it's a goal!
You fucking spoiled it for me. What the hell? Hold up. Don't tell me who scored. I'm watching. Here's Hoylett. Mr. Junior Hoylett. There you go. He's in. There's David. Now Adekubi has the ball. Puts it in. Fucking Kyle Larin. There you go. Let's go.
Okay, what I'm going to do just for you, Michael, is I'm going to pause my stream when Qatar are kicking the ball off. You tell me when Qatar kick the ball off, and then we'll be at the same time. So everybody else will be ahead of us both, but it's because, you know,
I
because I
don't know
like
why
you
I'm
so
so
much.
far behind. Hold up. We'll see if I can catch up. I won't keep your
Great goal
pause
from
if I can.
Laren. I'm really happy Laren scored as well. Like I know he
Mhm.
scored for Bruges lately, but there's been a lot of talk. Like, was this move a mistake? Has his stats been
From
a bit
us.
inflated? Were his stats a bit inflated from like earlier on in the qualifying campaign? But like he plays for Canada, he scores. As far as I'm concerned, he has nothing to prove to me,
Yeah.
and he just
Yeah.
keeps on doing it.
Kyle
Okay,
Laren's a funny
so
one. I'm still showing highlights here. Hold up.
tell me when you get to 4:39.
439. Okay. That's a big goal for Laren. It definitely is. And he has been getting back into the Club Rouge starting 11 a little bit regular.
Hmm.
So hopefully we do see more of him. And we are at 39 and 3, 2, 1. There you go.
Okay,
Now
so
we're
just
synced, ladies and gents.
yeah, I'm just so nice like that.
Feel free to spoil the goals in the chat for us, you know. I don't
Well,
know
it'll
why
be
mine's
spoiled
so
for
far
you. I'm
behind.
not able to see the chat.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I guess you can't. Okay. I'll read out some recent chats for you. We had Andre's wife come on saying hello from Andre's wife. We
I
had
don't know if it's his
Frankie.
wife or not. I don't want to be so bold.
We had Frankie come on and say Waterman's nickname should be Aquaman. How we didn't come up with that, I have no idea.
This is why he's the producer and the brains behind everything.
We had someone drop a link for the game in our chat, so people are watching. Someone said
That's
appreciate
probably
the
something we
coverage.
should have done.
Someone said appreciate for the coverage because I cut off the one soccer on YouTube, so you're welcome. We had Frankie back in here with thoughts on Wheeler. We hate Wheeler. And then he said, "Let's fucking go. We're winning the World Cup."
I
For
mean, see if you beat the country that hosts the World Cup, does that mean you get to win the World Cup as a result? That's how it works, right?
yeah, exactly. You beat the World Cup host. Therefore, you're now the new world host. So the World Cup's coming to Canada. That's how it works.
There's a lot of Shell advertisement right now. This is like is this the petrol state derby?
The petrol stick.
So whoever wins this gets to play Russia.
So those who also don't know, Qatar actually did play in the last Gold Cup, which is our version of Euros. So Qatar did play on that, but we didn't play them. They were eliminated in the semifinals to was it Mexico that beat them, or was it the U.S.?
It was the US because Mexico bet Canada.
That's true. Yes.
The
Sorry, I forgot.
bastards.
I wiped that game from my fucking mind because the ending pissed me off.
That was
But yeah,
just before I started following Canada soccer, and I'm really glad that was the case.
uh, but yeah, here we are. We're playing Qatar for our first time. Oh, Laren got another corner for Canada. That
We
is
made a
a
really
big
good
one.
start in this.
Where is the link? The link is somewhere in the chat. All right, it's in the comments somewhere. Oh, the comments. Sorry, dude. The person asking for the live the stream is on a comment on Facebook. So if you go to 13 Man Sports Facebook page, you might see the comments in there.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I'm not gonna
we
promote it. I'm not gonna promote a false link, but if somebody's gonna drop it in the comments, you have fun with that.
yeah,
Because I pay
pretty.
for one. Actually, I pay for Fubo. All right, I'm watching this game through Fubo. Maybe that's why I'm 20 seconds behind. Fubo's 20 seconds behind of one soccer. Maybe that's what the problem is.
What's that Justin Bieber song like? I get my shit from the source or something. That's what I do. I pay for one soccer directly.
Pay for one soccer there. I should have told Mitch to subscribe to us before I
I get
gave him
my
the answer to that.
I get
Please
my peaches
subscribe.
in Georgia and my Canada games on one soccer.
Subscribe, like, comment, and I'll give you whatever link you want.
Canada are playing very well in this game so far. Like
We
Qatar
are.
haven't really got into it so far. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, I don't know the Qatar team well enough to know if this is their strongest side or not, but
I was literally about to make a comment on that. Yeah.
I imagine they want to have the same sort of preparation as Canada do. They're looking to impress.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't see why they'd play all the fringe players, especially in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the same
Okay.
situation as Canada is right now, and they won the Asia. They said they won the Asia Cup, got to semi-final of the Gold Cup. We know they're not mugs.
No,
Like
they're a quality team. It's just we don't know much about them because I mean, most of their team does play in Qatar. I don't know if you know much about the Qatar league because I don't.
probably got a lot of money.
They make a lot of money. There you go. I
Playing
think
air-conditioned stadiums.
I think their top club does decent in like the Asian Champions League. I don't think they go far though. I think they do okay. Um, but no, this is a time for the people to go be watching Qatar, right? Because they're gonna be hosting the World Cup. They want to know what these guys have and what they're made of. So we'll see. But
I
I
mean, it's
really,
not. I mean, yeah, like look at South Korea in 2002. Like, they like that elevated them to like levels like not that would have been unimaginable. Everybody
mm.
knows them now. Everyone looks forward to them at the World Cup. Oh, oh, nice. Oh,
Oh
Cam
Jesus,
click.
yeah, okay,
Oh,
yeah, fuck. Um,
this is
again,
just
like,
some FIFA press. This is just some FIFA button mashing stuff right now. Great
mhm,
skill great footwork there from Qatar.
yeah,
We
that was
dug
that was
ourselves a little hole there, but I think Canada look like they're staying strong there, closing the ball
okay.
down
Good
pretty
save,
well. That was some
by
good. Yeah,
Boyan.
Piet did well there to close
Yeah,
down that player as well, and maybe
that's
didn't
the
quite get.
most calm I've ever seen Borjan after taking a shot. like
He's a very
he's
calm.
a temper. Borjan has a nice little temper.
I
I, I
Borjan does that thing where like he celebrates saves as if it's a goal,
he
and I
does.
love that
So do
so
I.
much. I love it when goalkeepers do that
I agree.
because you should. You've stopped a goal, so you celebrate.
Yeah, you see how big that net is? Okay, it's not fucking easy, all right.
Oh, football nets are always deceptively big when you see them in real life.
Oh
I know
yeah,
I'm talking to people who know the sport, so duh, but like,
no, no.
it's like it's
Oh,
every time still. I'm just like, okay, how the fuck does a human being stop a ball going into
have
that
you
net?
have you ever been to Wembley?
I have, yeah. I was on an NFL game though, not for a football game.
Okay, so did you do the tour of the stadium?
Nah, like we literally just did. We just
Okay.
literally went to the game.
So yeah, no, I went and did the tour of Wembley, and they have the old crossbar of from when England won the World Cup. They have the crossbar there, and holy shit, I couldn't believe how big that was. I mean, I've been to nets, but like when you're looking at, I guess a specific pole, it was like holy shit, that is. It went like through a good chunk of the rafters. Like holy hell. Um, no,
Canada have calmed the ball down a bit. They're just playing it about. Piet seems to be getting a lot of the ball early on as well. Like
mm,
we don't know what's going to happen with Hutchinson, so that position alongside Gustavo seems very wide open. Could be Piet, could be Mark Anthony K, could be Osorio, could be
mhm.
Coney. So he's probably the one player who's needing a big game here the most. Oh,
Yeah,
David trying to make himself some space here,
no,
close the
I
ball down.
agree. Mark Anthony K is always a question mark for me. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I think he's replaceable, and that's his problem with me. Is personnel wise, I don't know where he fits in all the time. And again, we're not seeing inside the locker room, right? We don't know exactly who and what these guys do, but I know Mark Anthony K is a favorite among the players because they really did come to defend him after he took that red card in the World Cup qualifiers.
Yeah, against Costa Rica was it?
Yeah, and again, it was a stupid play from him. I thought it was weak, but it was still stupid of
It was
him.
Pete Concacaf.
oh, yeah. If you don't watch Concacaf, you will learn that phrase while watching us. You just got Concacaf because it fucking happens all the time.
Canada have been on the ball for quite a bit now. They're like I said, they're holding the ball, and what I'm liking is when Qatar get the ball back, even when it's like right in Qatar territory, they're
Yeah,
really fast to close them down. That's kind of the blueprint against Belgium. Belgium have a aging defense. Like Vertonghen still plays for them, Boyata
yeah.
still plays for them, Alderweireld plays for them. These are guys all in their 30s. I know from experience watching Boyata at Celtic.
Oh, go on,
Go on,
get
oh go on.
in.
Oh no, you're slightly ahead.
Am I? I'm sorry, but
But like
Mr.
a
Jonathan David,
nanosecond. You said get in as soon as David hit it. That's 2-0,
okay,
ladies and gentlemen.
let's go.
I
This is
yeah.
huge, and the fact that he scores, everyone who watches Canada knows by the time this guy retires, he's going to fucking blow the goal record away. He's so
I
done.
love that so much that
He's
we straight up
scoring.
have like that competition between
Yeah.
David and Larin for who's going to be
Mhm.
the top goal scorer for Canada of all
The thing
time.
with him and Laren is what there's a 5-6 year age gap between the two of them. You think David gets a little bit more goals, especially as we're getting hot as a country. This is awesome. This is
Oh,
huge. I really didn't know what to expect coming into this game. This is awesome.
just a little reminder for all you American fans out there. You could have called him up.
I
Yeah,
just want to
yeah,
I just
you
want
could
to
have
point
called him
out
up, but he's ours.
that's true. I just
Says
want
the
to point
Scottish
out
guy.
Jonathan David just grabbed the Nike logo and not the Canada logo. He really pleases to that Nike. All right, he loves Nike.
Just do it.
He's like, yeah, just do it. And when he does this, when you meet, you know he means to do that.
I think
It's a little bit
Adakubi's
funny.
off the field right now, getting a boot replaced or something. It looked like there.
I didn't see that. All right, well, hopefully he's all right, especially if it's just a boot.
Maybe it's like do you remember that time Puma had those god awful kits last year that didn't have team logos on them? It had like a Nike logo and it just said the team name, like AC Milan or Man
Yes.
City.
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
it went viral. There was a
I
player who
hated
went to
it.
kiss the badge and he ended up accidentally just kissing the Puma badge.
I hated those Man City jerseys are one of my most hated Man City jerseys I've ever seen. I fucking hate them. I hated those jerseys so much. To me, they look like those Walmart jerseys, but like they're not official. They're just like what Walmart sells, hoping like that people who couldn't afford them would buy. That's what those jerseys were. They look like discount bin jerseys. Oh, they were so ugly.
Close him down, Sammy. Yep.
Sammy.
What was I going to say? It's one of those kits where, like, yeah, it looks god awful, but see if your team do well in them, give it
Mhm.
20 years' time, and all of a sudden it's a classic. And then you and I, Michael, will be like in our mid 40s or whatever, going, I remember when people used to hate that top. Yeah, that's what 40-year-olds sound like now, I guess. I
Yep.
remember when people
Yep.
used to hate that top.
Oh
Oh, you
yeah, those
kids don't know fashion anymore.
some of those new World Cup kits this year are
Don't get me
absolutely
started. Do not get me
absolutely
started.
abysmal. Oh my god.
I've said it before, like I think a lot of people say this, like Canada have this blessing in disguise with their kits, but it's like, okay, all these World Cup kits are god awful, but we want our god awful kit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do. I mean, if we had one of those ugly ones, I still would have bought it just because of what it is. But
Like
fuck, they were
because of the
some of those were
context,
bad.
is because of the context, it could be dog, it could be terrible, but it'll be an instant classic, you know.
Hmm. Somebody's commenting, "Where is this? Where can I watch the game?"
You
We're not
can
giving you the game, all right? We're not telling you to come here to watch the game. People are dropping the link in the comments. If you see it, you see it.
well,
I can tell you where one of the comments would drop was on a particular Facebook page, but I'm not going to tell you a
we
specific stream. That's not what we're doing here. All right,
well,
we want you to watch the game.
we can't tell you any, let's say
Nice.
streams on the high seas that you can watch if you know what I mean. But yeah,
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
a yellow.
we can tell people they can watch it on One Soccer and football, right?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Did you
Yeah, you
see
can
that?
watch the.
Where is the yellow? Was that for Victoria or was that for David?
Here's the replay. Okay.
No, fuck
Oh
off.
yeah, I can see it. He just
No,
mistimes it slightly.
I'm gonna say a big fat no to that one. Okay, that angle looked worse. That angle looked a little bit worse. I'll give a yellow for that angle, but
What do you make of that guitar top with the logo in the middle? It doesn't look like the other
I
Nike.
don't mind it.
Yeah, like a lot. I've not been a fan of a lot of the Nike kits, but like I kind of like that. I mean,
Mhm.
if you're gonna get one cut right, you kind of get the host top right, don't you?
I would like to see a little bit flashier from them for the being the World Cup host. But I mean, like, imagine if Nigeria hosted it the year when they had that iconic green and white one. I would like to see something like flashy like that for Qatar, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I don't know what it goes into the creating these jerseys on who decides what and how much the team has to say, but
Ball
that
gets
was good
taken.
defense.
Oh, just intercepted at the
Yeah,
last
that was a
minute.
good defense.
So yeah, we can't advocate telling you like any illegal streams or anything, but if you do want to watch it, you can
Hmm.
find it on One Soccer or Fibble.
Yeah, and again, if you're watching the stream, you have any questions about our opinions or whatever, drop them ahead. While I answer them through the stream.
If you're
And
wondering
Paul,
where, if you're going to ask us where Andre is, don't worry, he's safe.
Andre's in a safe workplace environment. And hey, Paul's back. This is the first time Paul's been back in 2 weeks. Your parents came up and visited you from Scotland. Am I right? How was that?
They loved it. Yeah, like we showed them all around, like the sort of Banff National Park area. I'm not gonna dox myself and say where I live, but let's say I live a somewhat drivable distance from there. We got to
Hmm.
show them the Icefield Parkways, took them to Banff's like Sulphur Mountains, showed them some other things. Went to Lake Minnewanka. Obviously, we spent time in Calgary. We even got to take them to a rodeo up in Olds, Alberta, an Oktober Fest themed rodeo,
Look
the
at
only one
you.
in the world. Because
Sounds like a good
how
time.
many of them can they possibly be?
Um, a question I have for you, Paul, is what is your prediction on Qatar overall performance? Because we usually see a World Cup host pull an upset. We usually see them do a surprise. Even like when South Africa, they never got out of group, but the fact that they got points on France was a huge thing. So, what's your prediction with Qatar? Will they pull an upset? Will they get somewhere? What's your
I'm
prediction?
just gonna look up their group to now. So is this you asking me, or is it like someone in the
That is
comments?
me. That's my personal question. I'm encouraging people to drop comments like this.
Okay, dokie. So 2022 World Cup. I want to
So they
say the
have.
Netherlands off the top
Don't
of my
tell me.
head.
Netherlands, Senegal, and Ecuador.
That's that. Yeah, that's it. I've got it in front of me.
Okay.
Um, I mean, it's not impossible. It's not impossible. I mean, compared to like other hosts, like Russia had a pretty favorable group last year with
Hmm.
Uruguay, Saudi Arabia, and Egypt. Like that group was very wide open, apart from Uruguay.
Yeah.
And obviously, beforehand, the hosts have been like Brazil and Germany.
Hmm.
It's I think it could be a case of it's not that Qatar are bad. It's just that there's very strong teams in that group. Like I'm really hot on Senegal at the moment.
So am I.
But like, I
So am
mean,
I.
that I feel like that's everyone's sort of like
Dark
it's
horse.
everyone's hipster pick to the point where it's no longer a hipster pick.
Yeah.
It's
So
like
for me, I think Netherlands tops the group, but it's gonna be tight with Senegal because I think those are the two top teams. And then I'm gonna put
I
Qatar third. I think they'll finish over Ecuador.
yeah, and Ecuador the one where there's like teams trying to lobby for them to get kicked out of the World Cup or something because they played an ineligible player in a qualifier.
Yeah.
That rings a bell. I'm going to take Senegal to go top. Like the Netherlands aren't quite in that same bracket as other European teams in my mind, like the Spains and France and Italy's. I think
Hmm.
they're just a bit below that. We've seen that at the Euros as well. Like at times they looked very average. Some of the young guns that are coming through, like De Jong and the guy who plays for Juventus. The name slips my tongue. Youngish guy.
Oh,
Um,
for uh, nope,
De Vrij or something, I think it is.
I don't have the name.
I'm so sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but the overall point is like there's a couple of players in there who I don't think have quite their careers haven't quite gone the way we thought they would. Memphis Depay as well. Some people are high on him. I've never really been that all
Really?
high on him, to be
I like him.
honest.
I do like him.
I mean, like, do you remember when he signed for Man United? He was supposed to be like the next best thing. Like, I know he's
Yeah.
doing well for Barcelona, but like, he's hardly the replacement for Messi, Neymar, or Suarez. They're it's not a like for like there. It's not that I don't think they'll do bad. I just like I wouldn't be surprised to see Senegal top the group against them. Like
No, for sure. And I am very big on Senegal. And coming into the World Cup before we had the groups, I said Senegal will go the furthest we've ever seen an African team or East Asian team go in the World Cup. And I still believe that. But the only problem is if they come out of the group, there's a good chance they play England. And if not, I think it's at the third round to play England. And I actually had England going far as well after Euros. And we'll see how England play today. I think England are definitely on the back burner. So we have.
yeah, I think a
Uh,
lot.
sorry, I'll finish this, and then we have a question for you specifically. But I think England. I think England have potential of going far, but they're very questionable and mysterious right now. There's a lot of rumors about Southgate's not having the locker room at the moment. So we'll see how England do. But after Euros, I definitely had them as a favorite to win this World Cup. I think they do have it, but we'll see. If you ask my dad, he absolutely hates Southgate and he wants Southgate gone. He thinks he's the reason we haven't won the world. We didn't win Euros, sorry. He thinks he's the reason why we got knocked out of Croatia. And if you're watching the stream, I am Canadian,
Ooh.
but I'm also English, so I do say we for both. I'm sorry. So the question for Paul: why are Rangers the best club in Scotland?
There's that Andre.
That is not Andre. I'm not going to reveal the identity of that question, but they
Is this
want to know why is Rangers the best team in Scotland?
because they use some dodgy tax
I want the ladies to.
avoidance methods in the 90s and 2000s to win leagues.
I want everyone to note he did not defend it. He actually gave a reason. Mr. Celtic fan here actually admitted to Rangers being the best team
Well,
in Scotland.
I don't think they are, but in the eyes of someone who thinks they're the best team in Scotland, that's why I would see you think that,
You didn't
if
defend
you
it
want to put
though.
it that way.
You didn't defend it, and I think that's part of the problem with you right now. That was not a
I
good.
mean,
That was not a good look on Mr. Celtic here.
let's keep this a family show. I'm trying to keep everyone on stage. He asked me why do I think why would Rangers be the best team in Scotland? Because they cheated a whole bunch in the 90s and
That's
2000s to get to where they
there's
are.
a better answer because they're cheaters.
That's
'Cause they're
basically what I said.
Hey, screw you. Scott Arfield played there. Okay, he plays there now. Up yours.
Oh, Adakubi, I think, got dispossessed.
There you
Guitar
go.
breaking,
Good
and
job by
Eustachio
Eustachio.
cleans the play up. Good
We're
to
looking
see
very
him. I
solid. Like Canada's looking defensively good. We're looking like we're controlling the game. Um, I don't
yeah.
believe this is going to be the same case when we play Uruguay. By the way, if you're watching the stream, we will be back here Tuesday to watch Canada take on Uruguay. So we will see how this game goes and how Uruguay go. if how what do you expect from the Uruguay game? In all honesty, because this one was a
Is
little bit
it
of a
weird
question
that
mark.
I'm hoping Canada are like under the cosh a lot for that game and have to soak
No, I
up a
think we
lot of
need it.
pressure?
I think we need
Like
it because when we go
I
up against Belgium and Croatia and even Morocco, I think Morocco is not going to be the walkover a lot of a lot of Canada fans think they're going to be. We need to be put under pressure, and as much as America did it, as much as Mexico did it, we're used to that. We need a new team to be like, hey guys, but you're not up there yet. Especially because a lot of our World Cup is going to come down to our counter. We're going to have Atakubi, Davies really running up the ring. Holy hell! I sound like a fucking 3-year-old there. We're going to need them really running up the wings to put pressure on these teams. And the Uruguay is a perfect team to allow us to show our counter opposed to controlling the game like we are in this game.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I want Canada to play a team as close to Uruguay, to Croatia and Belgium as possible. And Uruguay, they're no mugs. Like we had Juan on the other day, like filled in perfectly for me there, almost too perfectly. I was getting nervous. And he summed it up pretty well. Like how Uruguay seems to have that perfect mix right now between youth and experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I do fancy them getting pretty far in the World Cup. I'm pretty high on like the big three South American teams in the World Cup this year. And
Okay.
what I do want to, so I think the Uruguay game, it may be like any other friendly. They play like the strong team to begin with. They run the changes in the second half. I just kind of hope that like our strongest team plays up against their strongest team,
Mm-hmm.
and then like the changes happens. Whatever happens, happens. This game's 2-0 right now. If that's 2-0 going into half time, I expect the changes to get made, and then whatever happens with the result happens. Like who cares as long as no one gets injured.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely. Um, and that's the thing with friendlies. You don't want players getting injured. And especially, I mean, that's why I want to see some of these new question marks get into Canada's lineup today.
I think
Um,
that's why you won't see Buchanan play any of these games. Like, I don't have a problem with him being in the squad in terms of like a team chemistry and bonding aspect. And if
yeah.
he's like, it's not as if he's crocked. I guess he can like train, so that's fine. They probably
Mhm.
just want maybe Herdman has like a specific plan for him against Belgium, like to get them down the wings, as you said, and he
Yeah.
wants that time to help implement that. It could be whatever reason. Like the reason Hutchinson's not in there is because
He is injured.
he's in a bad way. He's in a bad way right now. But
Yeah.
Buchanan, he can like I believe he can train. He can run.
Mhm.
If they really want to play him, they can play him. But like they don't need to.
I just don't get it. I just don't get it. To me, that's a valuable spot where we could learn where somebody is, and we can't lose that opportunity with Buchanan being called. And again, if he plays, he plays. That's a totally different story. But if he comes and he doesn't play a single minute, I'm surprised um Club Brugge can't let him go at that point. It's like
I don't
if
really
you're
think you
not
get.
ready, you're ready.
I'm
Sorry.
not really sure how it works. So like I don't think you can get a say in that sort of thing. If it would, then no player would ever play in the African the
We
African
are
Cup of Nations from the Premier League.
yeah. So to answer your question, I'm sorry I don't know how to pronounce your name, Avinor. We are watching the game on One Soccer, which is a app where you can download and subscribe to watch the game. Unfortunately, to watch Canadian soccer, you need One Soccer. Hopefully that changes, but it doesn't look like it's going to for a while. The World Cup will be on TSN in Canada and all that stuff wherever you are. You'll always be able to watch Canada's games on TSN since they have the World Cup rights, which I'm sure a lot of Canadian fans will be happy for because they have missed a lot of games and they will blame missing a lot of games on the One Soccer subscription. But it is how it is, and at least we have a way to watch our teams. I remember back years ago. I mean, I guess we usually did play on TSN and Sports, and I wanted to, but it wasn't always as easy to find the streams or whatever it is. But yeah, at
I
least
wonder
we
if
now
there's
have a designated place.
I wonder if there's anyone who's a bit like say like I don't know TSN, like you've not picked up Canadian soccer in the longest time. You like didn't want this. One Soccer had all the World Cup qualifiers and all that, and you get to come into the last minute and play the World Cup games. I wonder if there's any sort of anyone a little bit annoyed about that. But no, ultimately I think
Mhm.
it's good. Like the bigger platform you can put Canada soccer on, the better.
Yeah.
Like and Qatar had a little bit of a half chance there, but Victoria played it well, forced them to take the outside shot. Boyan had it covered. No real danger in hindsight. I remember.
Borjan's looking strong, and again, I'm not opposed to Borjan playing these games. I'm not against it. It's just I'd rather see St. Clair get one of these starts. In all honesty,
We want the shiny new toys.
yeah. I mean, again, I'm sitting here thinking injuries are gonna happen. What the fuck if we do? Because this is our starting 11. I think Samuel Payet could be in and out. I don't think he's necessarily our. Oh, here's a good break for Canada. I don't think.
Oh, that's a
Uh,
brilliant ball. Oh, just a
yeah,
little bit of
a
a
little
big
too
touch
much.
there from
I think yeah,
Davies.
I think Samuel Payet could be in and out of the lineup easily, especially if Hutchinson's healthy. But this is probably our going 11. There's not much question to it. My my concerns is injuries. I mean, I think we have a decent bench. I don't think we have a great bench. There is some injuries though, and if they happen, you gotta wonder like, can these guys do the job if Borjan gets down?
I do
Can you
feel like
trust Crepeau? Can you trust Sinclair?
I do feel like injuries are probably most likely to happen when you're playing
Club.
to not get injured, if you know what I
Oh,
mean. You're not at
okay, yeah, yeah.
100. You're not at 100%. You're like,
Oh shit, here's Qatar. Oh, look at Payet go.
Piet's got it.
Yeah,
Boyan's got it too. That's a
Piet's playing a little
35 year
bit of
old
a
man
Piet's
running.
playing a little bit of a further back. It looks like he's playing more of a center back to allow some of our guys go up. But that was a great play by him, and then Borjan comes out and helps as well. That was
Johnston
good.
and Adekubi are very good attacking wise as well, so I like the idea of that as well. As like one of our defensive midfielders goes
Could drop back and
allows
help
those wings
Kamal
back.
and
Yeah,
Victoria.
I
Yeah.
don't like. I've always kind of had the impression that in modern football, games are won and lost with your fullbacks.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
It's
I don't
like, and
think.
I don't think any position has been elevated in terms of importance since I started watching football more than fullbacks.
Look, I'm wearing this Kamal Miller jersey, okay? He's my boy. The reason I have his jersey over Davies, David, Laren, any of them is I believe he was truly the unsung hero of our World Cup qualifiers. I truly believe that. He put in so much work. He he's so solid back there. Like something we worried about going into World Cup qualifiers was our defense. Were we defense sound? Were we good enough to be the defending team that we knew we had to be to qualify? The answer is yes, and that's because of players like Miller. If it wasn't for Miller, I truly believe we come second or third. I think he made that much of a difference.
Yeah, I mean, you only have to look at Montreal as well. Like I said, he got
Yep,
all-star call-ups. He's
exactly.
like at times he's turned into Camalfonso Davies. I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna
Yeah,
force
he's
that
been
on
scoring a
people
little
whether
bit
they
more.
like it or
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, I remember we watched the Atlanta game, like the start of the season. Like he had that like insane assist.
Yeah, yeah.
He's very so he's kind of not two dimensional. That's not really a thing when it comes to football. It's not like hockey where you can have like defensemen score tons of goals. But he's probably the best we have in Canada for that at the moment. It's always good to have like the more threats in the box, the better, especially against Belgium because they're a pretty tall team as well. I don't know about Croatia. I'm just picturing Luka Modric right now, and I picture Modric being about this height. But like
Hmm.
don't tell him I said that because I find him terrifying. I have seen him almost single-handedly destroy Scotland and Celtic with Croatia and Real Madrid. So
Yeah,
don't tell him I made fun of his height.
yeah. I love when you see like just like some short players come up and absolutely tear it, especially when they're winning headers. Like I love when you see like someone who's like 5'10" win a fucking header. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I remember. Not to trying to get too off topic, but like Celtic had a striker called Scott McDonald, who was, if you had a big man little man combination up front, he was definitely the little man. But like he had a hell of a jump on him. He always just knew
Mhm,
when to jump, how to time his headers. Like he had the aerial threat of a guy about like 5 inches taller than him.
mhm.
Qatar have the ball up again, got in behind,
Good
and
run from
Kamal
Qatar.
Miller closes it down.
Beauty again, Miller.
And they do just enough there.
That's the
I think
type of
it's
thing I'm talking about with Kamal Miller. That's the type of thing I'm talking about. Like you just need that. That was awesome.
good recovery pace, but
Hmm.
Pietin's in there as well to like
Again,
deal with
yeah.
the danger. Like
Hmm.
he's showing himself up here pretty well.
Yeah, it's
Like
like Piet's a guy that could come in and out of the lineup. This is the type of game Piet needs to be in. I don't oppose to him being in there because again, this is the type of game he needs to prove himself if he wants regular minutes at the World Cup, right? And again, yeah, no, you're right. Piet's having a great game.
I like a lot of people seem to look at central midfield as like a point of weakness when it comes to depth because I know there's not many
Hmm.
technically not many central midfielders in this squad, but you got to remember
Yeah.
Osorio's not here, and neither's Hutchinson. So like I feel like
Yep.
there's plenty of depth there. I want Hutchinson to play. Like we
As
just
much
like
as he can.
we all love the romance of football. Like we want to see
Oh
him
yeah.
play. If he plays all 3 games, he gets to 100 caps. But if he doesn't play, I don't think it's disastrous. Like,
No,
Piet is good. I personally think Osorio should start if he's able to.
Osorio is he's kind of I might piss off some Toronto fans here. If Andre's listening, I might piss you off here, but I think we could do better than Osorio. I like him. I think he is a Canadian player. He's going to be there. I'm not arguing that. But at times when he comes on, I'm worried if he's the best option.
I think he's serviceable. I think he's combative, and what I like about him as well is he has an eye for goal. So like we do get in those counter-attacking positions against Belgium or Croatia. Like he's a player I could trust and like be in that right place in the right time. You're not going to get many chances in those games, so like you want the players who are going to be clinical. Just don't have him take a penalty. But other than that, it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see.
Don't have any Toronto FC players take a penalty.
Well, I mean, as of right now, Osorio's our only one, and he didn't even come to the
Well, he is in the squad, but he's not starting at the
Oh,
moment.
sorry, there's Ataku.
And then there's Daniel Henry, who's not in the squad. Well, Larry's in the squad, but not playing. Henry's not in the squad right now, but could play. And Mark Anthony K is there too, so there's a little bit of a contingent.
See, to me though, Henry's lost his spot to Waterman. Even if Waterman doesn't even play these friendlies, I don't think Henry comes back in because Waterman's getting regular minutes where Henry's not.
I think we're starting to see why LAFC let Henry go for Chiellini. Not that he's a bad player, but yeah, he has kind of had his struggles since going to Toronto.
Qatar came so close there.
Yeah, that was a good strike from there. Yeah, like, there's not much. I feel like we were defending that well as well, close to the man.
Yeah,
like you can see there that Piet once again right in his face. Like, oh, who knows if he had that time on his hands, maybe he could have bended it more.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is just turning into the Samuel Piet tribute stream. We're just going to become like staunch Quebecers. Well, Michael might already be on the road to being one of those.
Oh. And another strike from Qatar over the bar.
Over the bar, yeah. Was that deflected?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
was it?
Well, all the players seem to like not be moving anyway. They all seem to be staying in place. I think it was deflected.
Yeah,
that's always my big get. It's always when I'm always confused if it's a corner or not. I'm like, okay, are the players all together bunched up? Yes, it's a corner.
He's like, yeah, there it is.
What's your favorite type of corner, Michael? Do you like the Olympico? Do you like the short corners? Do you like just stick it in the box?
Short corners piss me off. Every time I'm watching it, especially when you're down a goal, I snap. I'm like, no, just get it in the box. Because when you get it in the box, anything can happen. If you go play a short corner, it pisses me off.
I think it depends on who's doing it, because like corners are very low percentage chances. Like teams will literally spend a long time literally just defending this one thing. They have their like routine of defending set pieces. They're very low percentage when it comes to scoring.
Right.
So like, I'm not saying make every corner short corner, but like you have to be creative. So like, I don't mind short corners. Like I remember like Pep Guardiola era Barcelona would take a lot of short corners, and I get it. The team were tiny, and they're good on the ball. So like, just why wouldn't you rather keep the ball and play in that moment?
Yeah.
I'm not really a big fan of Olympicos either.
Oof. Again, coming up big there.
I think that was fine. It was just like you couldn't really see where the ball was going there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, no, it was more of a screen, and then we got a throw in there. What do you even?
It's very encouraging to see that, like straight from like Bojan's hands, ball right up. We have a lot of pace up there with David Laden. Surprised I can keep saying Davies and Davis, no problem. I feel like that should be more difficult than it is, but I think we're just we're just big football experts, Michael, aren't we?
We are. We're
just big massive experts.
We're more of an expert than fucking what's his face. I'm not gonna say his name because I'm nice.
the guy that was mentioned earlier in our comments. I think that's who's referring to.
Once the video's uploaded, come back, rewind, and we'll know who you're talking about. By the way, if you're joining the chat for the first time, go ahead and like us, give us a subscribe. We'll be back on Tuesday when Canada play Uruguay. We have a video being uploaded right after this game today. We'll have a video uploaded on our YouTube channel as well.
I'm just going to keep saying YouTube words.
You can check us out on Spotify and any other podcast streaming platforms where we do our full podcast, where we've been doing it for 6 months now. We're the prime peep of footy podcast.
How did that happen? Half a year? How did that happen?
This guy looks like Mo Salah.
You seen maybe you ever seen that like that guy who is genuinely the double of Mo Salah, like Mo Salah's took pictures with her
Yeah,
and everything. I don't know, maybe
yeah.
it's
Jamie
him.
Vardy had one as well.
Yeah, Jamie Vardy one, like it looked like from a distance, but you see them up close. I didn't quite see it. You think his what? You think Jamie Vardy's lookalikes also got a wife who's a big massive snake?
I don't know. Apparently, that guy turned out to be a real asshole. Hey,
Yeah.
apparently, he
Who
turned
would
out to be a
imagine?
real problem in the Vardy family.
Oh yeah, I remember hearing about all that. That was a
Took fame to a little too
seems like
far.
forever ago Leicester won the league and that was all happening.
Oh, yeah, but he was still coming around every now and then.
And a Qatar player's injured. He might not
Looks like
be. And imagine like even if he's okay, like you got to just play precaution here, right?
hmm
He's holding his I think
Are
that's his
all the
hamstring.
teams are all the teams during this window in the international break playing with their World Cup jerseys?
Yeah, they've all been released now. Like Scotland's, like obviously we're not in the World Cup for footballing
But
reasons,
you
but
got your
they were playing
World
in it.
Cup jersey, baby.
And so saying like I admire like Scottish football's boldness to keep getting World Cup like kits with new World Cups and Euros.
hmm
So yeah,
It's funny.
that's brave of you boys.
I love like when Canada never had like World Cup kits, but we when we drop new ones, I love them. I have one of my favorite Canada jerseys is it's a red one and it's just pure red, but like at the this area, it's like a faded like maple leaves coming down. It's really nice. I really like that one. It was our last jersey that we had with Adidas, I believe.
I always like the wacky 90s ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I know that's like very like the 90s is the Marmite of football jerseys and that era, but like I like a lot of 90s kits.
We got to do a jersey special on here. I don't know. Maybe let us know. Let us know in the chat if you want us to see us do a Facebook or YouTube, sorry, jersey special. We'll rank the World Cup jerseys. We'll rank our favorite jerseys of all time. Let us know.
It may
We'll,
have all the legitimacy of a Russian referendum poll in Ukraine right now, but like we may pay attention to it. We may do our own thing.
my. Still 2-0. We have about 4 minutes left before stoppage time. I'm pretty happy with Canada's play right now. It's
Yeah, same. Like I said, I'm expecting a lot of changes at
Mhm.
half time based off this. I think John Herdman's seen what he's had to say. They've been very impressive this first half. Because you know, with international football, you're not playing all the time, so a part of you forgets just how good Canada are, if you know what I mean.
No, for sure.
Especially with the last window being somewhat of a disaster.
Well, again, like it comes down
Like
to.
so it's
Sorry, what were you going to ask?
no, I was just gonna say like the last one
Oh,
the last one was
I think.
draw deal for Canada. So it's like this level.
Oh, there you are. I think we're having technical difficulties here with Paul right now. Maybe a
I
little bit
can
of
see me.
spotty Wi-Fi. We can see you, but your audio is a little bit off, and that's okay. Um, I was going to ask you
You just get
with
well,
how. Okay, yeah, we're totally off. Paul's audio's off. I'm off. That's okay. I want to
ask me the
ask
question.
you. Okay, there you go. I want to ask you a question. I'm not going to ask you specifically at the moment where do you think Canada's going to finish in their group at the World Cup. I'm going to ask you more because the one that everyone thinks we're going to win is Morocco. How do you feel about that game?
I mean, I'm not going to pretend I'm a big expert of Morocco. I watched their game against the US, and I thought their goalkeeping was very suspect. Like their goalkeeper was meant to be good, but I thought he had like Kit Kat wrist for that game. I remember like thinking he
Mhm.
could have done better with the way a goal, and all a lot of people think that was a good goal, but I personally thought he should have like done better with that. They've got rid of their coach, the cursed World Cup coach. They're bringing in a guy who's done well in Africa before. Like I said, he won the African Champions League this year with a Moroccan team. I don't know if Morocco is a big powerhouse regionally wise. I know Al Hilal and Zamalek are big in Egypt, but other than that, I'm a bit scatterbrained when it comes to Africa. So unknown
Mhm.
quantity. I'm just gonna have to keep an eye on their results between now and when it starts. I know that they kind of got a favourable draw getting into the World Cup in terms of playoffs. Like they avoided likes of Senegal, Egypt, and Nigeria and Cameroon. They played
Yeah.
one of the easier teams. Ziyech's back, which I mean, that's kind of that'd be the equivalent of Morocco looking at us and going, "Oh no, Davies is back in the Canada squad." But I don't know. The honest answer is I don't know what to expect. I do like that the game is last, So like Canada don't go into it in the game one with like some sort of false pretense of it being an easy
Yeah.
game. I think that's a good. I think
I think
that's
that is
good,
important. We can't
advantageous.
go in there and think this is our game because as much as it is that's our game that we need
Ball on
to
the
get
left.
points on. That was
Oh,
close.
didn't quite get there in time.
As much as that is the game we need to have the points on, we can't go in there knowing it's going to happen. I personally think Morocco's going to surprise not just Canada, because Morocco's going to surprise Canada, I think. But I think they're going to surprise teams like Croatia and Belgium as well. I think Morocco's going to put up more of a fight than we're giving them credit for. But to be fair, that's what people are saying about Canada. People are, if you look up YouTubers all over the world and whatnot, people are saying Canada's going to be their dark horse, the one that's going to surprise everyone. And I really hope that's true. But I think Morocco's going to be one that we need to watch out for. And Canada's got a corner with almost a minute to go. We have about 30 seconds in the half. Canada has a corner here. Hopefully we can get something at the end. Imagine going into the second half with 3-0. That'd be nice. Here we go. Oh, just missed the back post, I think. That's okay. Paul, are you still with us? Or are we having technical difficulties? I believe technical
And
difficulties.
that ball went to the back.
I believe we are definitely having technical difficulties with Paul right now. That's okay. While Paul's having technical difficulties, I'll do another plug for us all. Paul is way off. Oh my lord. Don't even know where Paul is anymore. That's okay. So if you're watching the YouTube channel, please go and subscribe and like us. We'll have a new video drop right after this video. And you can also check us out on any other platform as Spotify, Twitter. We do a weekly podcast where we also drop specials. We have YouTube where we drop YouTube originals. So make sure to check us out on all those platforms. Leave some likes, leave some comments. Paul is definitely having some technical difficulties. So anyone in the chat, if you want, you could drop us some comments.
Yeah, I can see. You can click.
There is Paul already.
But an into he's like a waterfall visible.
I'm Paul. Paul. There he is. Paul adds the leave. Hopefully he can come back in. But at the moment, this is where we are going into halftime. It is 2-0 Canada. Great performance in the first half. I'm hoping in the second half we can see a lot more players that we're unsure about, as we've been saying throughout the chat. I want to see Sinclair maybe get in there. I want to see Waterman. Paul is trying to get back in. Hopefully he is able to. I will let you know. The empty stadium is odd to me though. If two World Cup teams come to play local to me, I'd be there for sure, 100%. It is a little bit weird, but it is in Austria. It's not like it's the two nations. It's not like it's in Canada. It's not like it's in Qatar. This is in Austria, so the love for it probably wasn't even advertised that much in Austria, because I believe there's other games going on in Austria as well, like their own games. You have to think of that. Austria, and it's not like we've got the two biggest nations. It's not like we have England, France, Italy, Germany. It's not like we have that going on right now. We have Canada and Qatar, both going into like their first World Cup since 1936. 1986 for Canada, and this is Qatar's first ever World Cup. So it's not like people in Austria are going to be dying over this match. Paul is still trying to get back in here. I don't know if he's going to be able to. Hopefully he can squeeze in. But thank you for joining us for the podcast or the stream so far. We still have another 45 minutes once we get back to the field. Drop your comments, drop your questions in the chat, and I'll be there to answer them. And if Paul can get back in here, so will he. We are currently at a commercial break. Is Paul alive? Did we get him?
Did I miss something? Did I miss anything?
Oh, you missed a little bit, but don't worry. You go back to our YouTube channel afterwards. You can go and subscribe and go watch us again.
I was just saying there, I could see me and you, but I don't think you could hear me. So, like, you know that been Interstellar where like he's seeing his daughter like opening the books. He's like through the invisible wall, and he's like pounding at it for her to do the right thing. That was me.
It really was, because on my end, you were just like, you're blurred out, and then occasionally your audio would come through, but like in spits.
Well, for all the screaming 13ers out there, all the massive fans were both back. Not for long though, because I was only here for the first half. I have things I have to do, places to see, valleys to conquer.
That is
But
okay.
yeah,
I
let's
will
quickly
still
go
be
over that
here.
first half then, what we've seen, I guess.
Sorry?
Let's go over that first half quickly and talk about what we've seen.
Yeah, from what I saw from Canada, was a good defensive effort, kept the ball pushed up the field, and it was honestly it was a great performance for Canada, because coming into this game, I really didn't know what to expect from Qatar. We saw Qatar playing CONCACAF back just a couple years ago, or last year, sorry, and they went to the semifinals of the tournament, so they were a question mark for me, but very happy with Canada's play, and we go into the second half with 2-0 goals from Laren and David.
Yeah, like we've seen Qatar can look a bit dangerous when they have the ball in those forward areas. They look like they have some pretty good technical players. They're able to like work a bit of space themselves, get some shots. They like to get the ball down their right wing, it seems, get some crosses in there. But it was nothing that Canada wasn't able to deal with. Vittoria, Miller, Piet, and the fullbacks. Like at no point did I think any of them were getting like overmatched or anything. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, we need some help over there. Yeah, like that was a pretty you call it a professional job, I guess. I thought, like I said, Piet played pretty well. Davies hasn't really had like a big high point moment or anything yet, but that's fine. He's playing well. You can't have a goal against Panama every game. He's doing his thing out there. It very much looks like a team. And I know that's kind of been what Can's been trying to build. They've been trying to create like a club atmosphere. But like I think you can see that like everyone seems to know what everyone's going to do. They
Mhm.
all know how to work with each other. Like as soon as someone gets the ball, they're looking for that counter attack, and more often than not, a Laren or a David or a Davies. They may not like be able to like latch onto the ball perfectly or anything, but they're in those positions for that to work.
Yeah.
And you see that when Qatar get the ball, they're hunting after them in packs, like the midfield, like Eustachio and Pia have been very well in that field. I'd say they've been controlling midfield, making the passes they want to pass, they've been closing down their opposition when the times came. I think this has been a perfect half for John Herdman's side in that case. Like I said, I want to see them play Uruguay in a game that's more going to replicate what the Belgium and Croatia games are going to be like. I think there's not much more they can learn from this game, so I do hope they make the changes in the second half. Release the Claire, and release the H2O man. What was it
Uh,
Frankie called him again? Aquaman. Yeah,
Aquaman.
release the Claires and release the Aquaman.
Speaking of Frankie, we have another comment in the chat from him. He wants our CPL playoff teams. Paul, if you have the time, who's your four? I personally have the top three at the moment, with Pacific jumping in over Valor. What do you have?
I I think Ottawa and Calgary are going to be in there
Hmm.
because it's up in the air. But I mean like some of these teams might just end up stumbling into the playoffs, like the way the league's been going anyway.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, it's weird
I
because that's a big game tonight. Tonight we have Valor playing York, and if York lose, they're done. If Valor win, they're not secure, but it looks good for them. If a draw happens, Valor again, okay result, but for York, keeps them alive actually. So
I think
it's
Forge will do it based mostly off muscle memory. Like that's like if you had to pick a team in the CPL, you're the most confident in to win like a one-off do or die game.
yeah.
Okay, I know they lost the final last year, but that's a team with like the most chemistry in there. They've got like tons of players. It seemed like almost every other week this season so far, I was like such and such player for Forge has made 100 appearances. This player's made 100 appearances.
We've had a
This
couple
player's made
from
100.
Pacific now as well. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And with Pacific and Valor, part of me thinks one of those two will stumble in, if you know what I mean.
I well, I mean, one of them's gonna have to stumble, right? Because one of them's gonna have to get in there.
Like they'll both stumble. Like yeah, like you ever watch that that cheese race they do in England where like
Yeah,
the
yeah, down the
contingents
hill. Yeah,
roll down a hill to get cheese.
yeah.
That's going to be the playoff race between Valor and Pacific. Just two guys falling down a hill trying to get that playoff cheese.
I'm kind of hoping York pulls that win off tonight because that'd be
I
massive.
I think what's going to be huge is Pacific's game in hand against Forge.
That is the big thing, yeah.
I like and Valor. They've played all their home games, but like they've looked pretty fancy. They've looked all right away from home this season. I think Valor have more momentum behind them personally,
Yeah.
and part of me kind of wants Pacific not to make it, just so I can tell everyone who's, including you, that the Diaz sale was a good idea, and go, I told you.
So we have a good comment in the chat. If Herdman was to leave, who would you rather him take over? Celtic or Newcastle as manager?
So if he's to become Celtic manager, that means Ange
Sorry, he
Postecoglou
meant
has to
sorry. He
leave.
didn't mean he did not mean Celtic. He meant Rangers. Would you rather him manage Rangers or Ranger Newcastle? So in all reality, Herdman has done great on the international stage, and he is a Geordie. He actually got his managing debut with Sunderland at the under like 18 type thing. He was assistant on Sunderland, and then went to was it Australia? No, he went to New
New
Zealand
Zealand,
Women, and
the
then
other
he
one.
went to Canada Women's. So I think in all reality, he would take Newcastle in a heartbeat. And if he goes to Newcastle, I have no hard feelings for him. He's a Geordie. He's the one thing I hate about him being Canada's manager is that it's a Geordie because he's doing such a good fucking job. So I'm okay with him going to Newcastle. I mean, if I had the chance to go to Sunderland for any position, I would, or wherever you're from, I get it. Would you like to see him manage the Rangers, Paul?
This is a weird question. Like, why would I ever say yes?
I mean, at the end of the day, I would hope he never did, but in reality, but also Newcastle has all that big money, and I like to think they'd spend that money somewhere else.
I I don't know what John's like personally, even though I just called him John. But like he's always managed international clubs, like maybe like international sides. Maybe he likes that because like you get a lot of freedom doing that. You
Mhm.
don't have that same stress of having to win every week. You're like it's a much more relaxed tempo. He's had a great reputation in the international game. Like I don't know, like maybe England women's team in the future if he wants that. I think
Yeah, I
that could be
think
something that gets him closer to home in England, and he doesn't
that's
have
true.
to like. He's in a kind of setup he's familiar with. He's like a big name in women's football as well. I can see that being something he does to get closer to home. I think club football's there if he wants it, but like I don't know if he wants it.
Yeah, I think with him, we've had a lot of questions about him as in Canada circle, especially once Ancelotti kind of like threw some speculation that he would like to manage Canada. Everyone's like, well, basically, fuck Herdman at that point, but I don't think that's the case. If someone like Ancelotti really did want to come to Canada, I think we almost give an ultimatum to Herdman. Be like, look, we have interest. Do you like what? I think it's a conversation you have. I don't think it's a necessarily you fire someone on the spot for another person. Um,
I would say that Ancelotti doesn't exactly have a squeaky clean record. Like he kind of underperformed in Napoli. He
yep,
underperformed with Everton. He
yep.
kind of has like short shelf lives at teams. Like he didn't spend too long at Real Madrid the first time. He wasn't at Chelsea for long. I don't know. Like it seems like a great idea, but like he might not be all that cut out for because it's a different type of management.
Yeah,
So
I
I don't think the CSA would do that. They probably can't
mhm.
even afford to do that. Never mind like entertain the idea.
And that's something that would annoy me as well. Is you fire a coach who's done so well for you to bring in another coach who doesn't necessarily have international experience. Like you said, it's two different jobs. It's a totally different game at that point.
I don't have
And
a
there's
problem with
Herman.
the I don't have a problem with no experience, but like I don't think Ancelotti would be like you know the messiah
No, for
straight
sure. I
away.
mean, it's a big name. It's a fun name to say, "Hey, Canada brought in this
Oh yeah, it's a
guy."
fun name.
It's a fun name, but is it someone you necessarily want? I don't know, and
I
I don't want to
personally
see Herdman leave before the 2026 World Cup. I'd like to see him stay at least another 4 years for that.
Ye
We'll
yeah,
see.
it's a bit
I
of a
think
dirty conversation to have this, isn't it? Because we don't want him to
yeah.
actually like, we don't want Herman to leave.
It's also at the point as well is we're getting to the point where we want success. And even if we're not winning the World Cup, we want to win the Gold Cup eventually, right? We want to be able to win that. And I don't know what the importance of winning that is to maybe the CSA or the players and management, but eventually the fans want to win something. And if Herman can't push us over the Gold Cup by 2026, I'd give him maybe 2027 or 2028, whatever the next Gold Cup. And if he can't win that, maybe it'd be time to cut chains. But that's a long
Yeah,
time.
and
That's
that
almost
like
10. That's like 8, 4, 6 years type thing.
I mean,
So
you
that's a
look at the
long
age
time
of a lot
away.
of the Canadian players as well. Like when 2026 comes along, a lot of these players might not even be in their prime yet. Like Davis will only be
Yeah.
20. Davies will only be 25. We've got a whole lot of young guns coming in, so
Yeah.
there's no rush to win the Gold Cup. Like we're not Belgium.
No, and we
We're not
just got
seeing
there.
we're not seeing our golden generation start to rust. Where we've got plenty of time. But yeah, I am gonna get going, Michael. Thank you for having me on in the first half. Um,
Oh, for
I'll make
sure.
sure
Thank
to
you for
try.
joining us.
I'll try and watch the second half as much as I can, and yeah, I hope Canada do pretty well out there.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you for joining us. And Paul will be back for our game against Uruguay on Tuesday. So thank you for that. And if you want to see him again, subscribe, like, comment, and we'll be back on Tuesday. I am still going to be here, though. Paul is leaving us. Don't worry. I am still here for the last 45 minutes of the Canada Qatar game. So thank you, Paul. And
Yeah,
we'll
you're a
see you
saint,
around.
Michael.
uh, Good old Paul. Thank you for joining us. Paul is a great Scottish lad, if you can't tell. Uh, Right. So if anyone has comments, questions in the section, let me know, and I'll do my best to answer them. The game should be starting off in the next 5 minutes or so. I'm going to take this time to take a quick washroom break and grab a little snack before the kickoff. Please stay tuned, and I'll be right back. And we're back, not just with me, but with the players on the pitch. And Canada come into the second half, 2-0. with Qatar making some subs to start off the half. Again, thank you for joining the stream. If you have any questions, comments, anything like that, drop it in and I'll make my comments as well. Qatar's made at least 2 subs to start the half. Trying to see if I missed any Canada ones. I don't think so. Um, oh, we did. Okay. So Kyle Laren came off for Richie Larea. All right, so that's an interesting one. I think we're looking to get a little bit more speed and like maybe a little bit more defensive IQ on the pitch, or maybe Laren just wants to save him for the Uruguay game. We'll see. But alrighty, and Pirates still playing that center back role as well, with Mark Anthony K coming back there as well. So that's a little bit interesting. Kamal Miller's playing a lot further up than he usually does, which a little bit weird, but I'll take it. I mean, again, he's not terrible when he looks at creating offensive chances. And look, he gets right back into that center back role. He's just playing a little bit further up the pitch. Hope you all enjoying the live stream and enjoying the game. Again, this is a big thing for Canada. It's huge. It's great to see us actually playing and such an important friendly leading into a World Cup. We've never seen this before. So it's very exciting. Not just for the team, but also obviously for the fans. And hopefully this is just the start of what comes for the future for Canada. We again we haven't seen this. Maybe if anyone's a little bit older and watching the stream, they'll be a little bit more familiar with maybe what it was like back in '86. Because I know in '86 we played a friendly against England where we only lost 1-0. So you have to think that's a little bit that was a little bit of a win back then, and maybe gave us hope leading into the World Cup. So beating Qatar, who's hosting the World Cup, there's a 2-0 win is huge, and it's not even done yet. We still have another 45 minutes with stoppage time. Uruguay's going to be the exciting one. Uruguay's going to be the one to show us what Canada really has in all reality. Uruguay is going to be the one where we really have to evaluate where we're at and what type of team we're bringing to the World Cup and who's coming to the World Cup and all that stuff. Don't mind me while I eat a cucumber. Unless you like that ASMR stuff, I could go a little slow chomp for you. Slowly chew into the mic. I don't know, you guys will all leave and say, screw you. Again, Canada starting off the half with possession. They're looking good. They're looking for more. Not just sitting on the 2 goals, and that's important. They really have confidence to drive the ball up. They have the confidence to really go for goal. You gotta love it. It's great to see it within the team. So I'm just gonna finish this. I would love to see someone like Junior Hoylett score at the World Cup. That'd be huge. Him, Atiba, even someone like Samuel Payet, someone who's just been with the team for so long. Eustachio had a great defensive player there. That was huge. Great play from Eustachio. Eustachio was another one where to see him rise up to be on the Canadian team is awesome. He had a slow start and he's become such a solid member. It's just like him and Buchanan. Him and Buchanan at the same time just blew up for Canada. It was great to see. It was a long time coming to have players like them really commit to the team. So Eustachio is another one I just want to see succeed no matter where he plays. Um, he's having a good start with Porto. He got player of the match one game. He got 2 assists in one of them. Eustachio is one where Canada fans are really high on, which they should be. He's been great, and hopefully not long before he leaves Porto. Nothing wrong with Porto. It's just the fact like there's bigger out there, and he's still young enough to get a good move to a bigger league, even if it's like just France, Spain, England, Italy, wherever it is. Eustachio has that potential. Hopefully, happens soon. You see a lot of big players leave Porto and Benfica, so it's hard for teams like that to keep their big players, especially in the league like Portugal, right? And Qatar's coming back on this. And like Qatar's not giving up either. They have looked dangerous. They just having troubles getting the extra finishing touch in. So hopefully, I mean, I don't know what to expect from Qatar. I don't really care what they do at the World Cup, but I like to see them pull it upside and maybe get through and whatnot. Where do I stand on Johnston and Larea? I like both. I am a big fan of both. I like Johnson maybe a little bit more in the lineup just because, like I said earlier in the stream, his connections with Kamal Miller. Um, those two really have good chemistry going because they play with each other on the same club. Um, but I think Lorea's a better attacking option. I think he has more of a better eye getting the ball up, better at getting the ball into the box, just the passing. He's a little bit faster, I'd say, than Johnston. But Johnston's a big favorite of mine. So the fact that when he decided to leave Nashville and come to Montreal, I thought that was huge in the sense of that was great for the team. It was one of the best things we could have had for the team. Jonathan David offside. He was by himself with the goalie and he gets offside. Damn, Jonathan David, so close. He's been tearing it up this year with Lille as well. I think he's on 4 or 5 goals. Like he's been doing so well with Lille. But yeah, no, sorry. Back to Larea. I think Larea is a better attacking option, but if you're looking more defensively, I'd rather have Johnson in the lineup. And out of Kubi, good pass, but David just timed it a little bit wrong. That was unfortunate. Good question. Thanks, Pottle Sports. I think I know who that was. Uh, so yeah, Qatar has the ball again. Qatar's really like pushing up the field because I mean David had a lot of room there by himself. So I think Qatar's really trying to get something from this match. This is a big game for Qatar too because I don't know if they understand where they are 100% in the world as well when it comes to some of these club teams. This is one of the ones that they would want to win and should win in their minds, I think. So I think Qatar might be upset with this, but you never know. Like the World Cup's a different story. When you're on home field, you'll be more used to the weather conditions. You'll have the fans behind you. Qatar could pull it upside, and like we said earlier in the chat, in the stream, World Cup hosts they're a different story, man. We saw South Africa draw France, like that was massive. Even though South Africa didn't come out of the group, they had a good group stage. And then we look at like something like 2002 when South Korea went to like the what was it, the 16th or quarterfinals or something. Like South Korea went so far. Um, we see it, and it's crazy how much of an impact some of these World Cup host teams really pull on some of these group stages. And then we got Larea, and this is another thing with Larea. I feel Larea is a little bit hot headed. He's a little bit more reckless than Alistair Johnston. Like I think as much as Richie Larea is a good player, defensively at times, he could be a liability. I feel, and again, I think overall he is good, but decisions like that was a rough play. Like it worked. He was lucky not to get the foul. Like it was a great tackle, but that was if he times that wrong, the guy goes down. Great ball from Laredo. It did turn out to be a good play. Can you show the visuals? No, sorry, dude. I if I show the visuals, the stream comes down. I can't show it, unfortunately. You can find the stream somewhere else. One Soccer and Fubu are playing the match if you're in Canada. Unfortunately, I can't put the game on myself though. Sorry, bud. And that was a great punch by Borean. Borean really got it in there. Are you there? Yeah, I'm talking to you, buddy. um, but yeah, no, another great. Qatar's pushing. Qatar wants a goal. They're looking for it. Great efforts from Borean. This game is really getting us ready for like teams like Morocco. I feel, and just a World Cup setting, right? I think when it comes to Qatar, they're maybe not the most favorable matchup we wanted when it comes to testing us, but it is a good one nonetheless. Well, they're still ranked highest in the world. They won the Asian Cup not too long ago. Um, they have the connection with CONCACAF, so Qatar is definitely the team. It's definitely a good team, but honestly, I would like to see someone more like Algeria type thing come in and play, but I'll take Qatar and Uruguay. Uruguay's a big one. Uruguay's a fun one. I'm not, I You asked me 5 years ago, does Canada ever play Uruguay? I'm saying no. Do we even have a chance against them 5 years ago? Hell no. So the fact that we have Uruguay even in our even in our future is massive, and I absolutely love how we can say names like Kevin De Bruyne and Lukaku in the same sentence as Canada when it comes to the World Cup. Like it's amazing. It's such a big accomplishment for us, and I can't wait to see what we could do against some of these big horses. I think Belgium, that's a tough game. I think we'll be maybe looking more for a draw. I think Morocco is actually a very tough game. I think that's the game where we all have in our mindset we need a win. But do we get the points? Do we get the result we need? We'll have to see. And Croatia's the one I actually think will win. Croatia's the one I'm confidently saying, you know what? I think we got this. Specifically because I think with the age of Croatia and our how fast and young we are, I think we'll surprise them and get them pretty good on this counter. And I know how good Croatia can be. I'm not taking away from Modric or anything like that, but I do believe Canada can surprise against. Uh, we can surprise against Croatia 100% because we're just so much faster. I watched one of Croatia's games a couple months ago, and I was like, if Croatia play like this, we could fuck them up easily, and because we're so just coming down on the wing, we'll kill them. They won't be able to keep up with Davies or Atakubi or Lorea, whoever it is on that wing. They won't be able to keep up. I don't think. Japan beat the USA comfortably today. How big of a test do you think the Japan game will be to see where Canada are at? Japan's a weird one. Um, I think we're better than the States as a team. I think the States are a good team. Don't get me wrong, but if you're judging out the qualifying window, I think we are a better team as a team. I think they have better individual players, but we work better. Herdman's done more for us. So the U.S. What was the score? Did they lose 2-0 to Japan? Here, let me look that up. USA Japan. 2-0 to Japan, right? So losing 2-0 to Japan, I don't think it tells too much about Canada because I think we're a different team in all reality. Am I saying we play that game and we beat Japan? No, we don't. I'm not saying we do. I think it's a close one for sure. But Canada, you can't judge us off one game without another team plays. I don't think. Uh, does it say anything about where we're at? Maybe, but again, I think we're better than the U.S. when it comes to as a team play. Individually, I don't think we are. I think they have bigger stars, but we have a very solid core. Um, and I think if we had to play the U.S. in the World Cup, we beat them. We proved that during the World Cup qualifiers that we beat them. So we'll see. I don't think it does much though necessarily. Oh, it looks like we have an injury to Qatar right now as well. So we'll see how that goes. Um, looks like they're getting two subs ready. And oh, I missed that. Jonathan David came off for. Oh, that's because I'm behind. So Jonathan David's coming off for Charles Andreas Brime, which I absolutely love. Brime's been having a good season where he's playing in Heidehoven. So this is a good move. I like to see him. These are the type of players I want to see play the friendlies. This is what I was calling at when we saw the starting 11. Look, Kone's coming on as well. These are the guys we need to see. Can we rely on you guys? Can we hope? Can we see you guys play? And there we go. Now Davies looks like he might be hurt. That's not good. That is not good at all. And Samuel Payet's coming off as well, and Ike Ugbo's coming on as well. So we have Brime, Ugbo, and Kone coming on with Payet, Davies, and David coming off. So basically a whole new attacking front for Canada at this moment. Perfectly okay. That's 100% okay. Um, we have a 2-0 lead. This is what we need to see what we have because again, injuries are going to happen. We need to know who we can rely on in case of injuries. There's Ismail Kone. Can he do it? He's having a great year with Montreal. Aikugbo, he's having an okay year with Troyes, so we'll see how he can pull through and if he could get the job done. um, So yeah, like let's go. Like this is the type of shit we need to see in this friendly. This is what I wanted all along. I'm a little upset Waterman didn't get on there. I want to see Waterman, but that's okay. His time will come. And I also I'm very interested in what our squad is like going into Uruguay. How much does that change between this game and the next game? Like, do we keep the same starters and then you going with subs? Like, Uruguay's a tougher match. I would have started maybe a weaker squad on this one and put in a tougher squad against Uruguay. In all honesty, but we'll see. I mean, it's friendlies. There's not too much on it. This is really just learning experience for the players, and it's just again Canada versus Uruguay. That's awesome for the fans. But look at that, Charles Brown. That's what I want to see from Brown. That was great. That's the type of stuff you need. Put the pressure. Look at that pressure. Goalie's stuck. He has to put it out. Great move from Brown. Great job. He's on pitch for 30 seconds. A great impression already. Canada has the corner now. It looks like Junior Hoylett's taking it. He's another one I'm surprised who has to take it subbed off. He's an older guy. Usually you want to save those legs, but he's having a good year with Reading. He's getting a lot of minutes. And he's an older guy as well, so hopefully, I don't think he's gonna play the full 90 though. I think he'll be off soon. And that was put off for a goal kick. I could have done more with that. That was a little disappointing. I'm on my third drink here. Got some bubbly in me. Or buble. And Qatar's they're coming back up the pitch. And again, Qatar's not playing a sit back game. They're looking for goals. They're looking for answers. And that's what you need from Qatar really. But look at that beauty. Can't get it right back. And who was that? I couldn't see. I think it was Brian again. Like great job, man. Great work. And Kamal Miller playing further up the pitch again. It's a weird one, but there he is. Go on. There you go. Put it in. Atakubi. He's in. Oh, what a save. Rugbo. Oh, my God. What a fucking save from Sad. Holy shit. How is that not 3-0? I don't know. I do not know how that's not 3-0. Ugbo, sorry, and I think it was Brian who got denied there? Or no, I think it was Kone. That was insane. How does that not go in? Kamal Miller pushing it further up. There you go. Put it in the box. Ah. Okay, good control from your Hornet. That third goal is coming. They're looking hungry. And that's what I love about the young guys, right? They're going to bring that energy. They're going to bring that excitement. Because they want to prove themselves, right? They want to prove themselves. They want the goals. Let's keep it going. Like, what a chance. So look at that. Beautiful ball in. Atakubi gets it. And then you have Kone. And then you have Ugbo. Like, oh, just great defending. Great goaltending. But so fucking close. Almost 3-0. Almost 3-0. And like, again, this is great to see. Great efforts. The young guys are really. Oh, sorry, it was Larea. It wasn't Kone. It was Larea. Sorry, my bad. But holy hell. Great job, Canada. Good job. And now Qatar's back up. And Qatar, again, they're putting the pressure. They're not sitting back. They want something from this. But I don't know what much about the team. I can't tell you if they're going to be striking it in because, I mean, defensively, we're sound. Canada is defensively sound at the moment. So, and we have been. Like, that's been our whole theme through the World Cup qualifiers is, yeah, we're scoring goals. But look how good defensively we let in the least amount of goals. So, you know we had it. Yes, hello. So we're at the 64th minute mark, and we still got 2-0. Still got 2-0 lead. Almost 3. Canada's looking good. Here, come over here. Watch the game from there. No, okay. Nope. Nope. Okay. 1 second. Look at that. Look at that. Takes it right back in the box. Charles Bryan. He's got not a lot of options there though. There it is. In for Kone. Like, look at this. We're so good. We're so fucking good. Look at that, man. When your kids can come on and do this type of stuff as well. Look at that. Back in the box. Oh, oh my God. Great move, but he stumbles on it afterwards as well. And the goalie's forced to kick it out again. Like, the pressure we're putting on their back end is massive. Absolutely brilliant. Like, this is great. This is great to see from the team. We're doing well. And then we got another sub. Here comes Liam Miller, is it? Yeah, Liam Miller on for Atakubi. Beauty. And Liam Miller's one, I want him to prove himself. Time after time again, he's been almost underperforming for Canada. He does such a good job with his team with Basel, but then he comes into Canada and he just struggles. So I'd love to see Liam Miller pick it back up and people stop questioning him because I remember the last qualifying window, people were questioning Liam Miller's potential with the team, but I know he has it. He just looks so good. And look, he had a good run there. That was a good run from Liam Miller there. And look, he gets it right back. Gives off to Eustachio. And then like Liam Miller's just so involved already. He's been on the pitch for 20 seconds and he's already so involved. It's great to see. Go on. Again, like our whole front right now is a whole younger core. So it's great to see. Come on. Like Qatar's trying to play the high line and they want to get it back and push back, but our defense is just so good at passing around and staying solid as where we are and what we're doing. It's great to see. Look at that. No pressure. Qatar's not even putting the pressure on us. We're just staying calm and passing it around because we don't have to be forcing, right? They don't need to be pushing. We have the 2-0 lead. This is great to see from us. The confidence that this young team has is absolutely mental. Herdman has done so much for us. It's a beautiful thing. Herdman has done such a good job for us. Alrighty, go on. And look, we just keep the pressure. They come on to us. We just pass it back. We keep the ball going. There's not much challenging us. Go on. Here's Kone. Look, Kone again involved. Oh, Ugbo gets the strike, but not a hard one. That was a good one. Again, thank you guys so much for joining the chat. Make sure to subscribe. We have a video being dropped right after the game. And we'll be back on Tuesday as well, where Canada play Uruguay. I won't be by myself then. We'll have Paul and Andre and a potential special guest for the Uruguay game as well. So make sure to subscribe, give us a like, come back for more content. If you don't know us, we are the FC13 podcast. We have a podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you watch your podcast stuff, where we do specifically Canadian content. But if that's from the MLS, Canadian Premier League, to Canadian players overseas, the men's, the women's teams, the under 20s, whatever it is, Canadian soccer content, we cover it, we do it, we got it. What English championship team would you want to see Kone move to? Ooh, that's a good question. I thought the what was it, the Sheffield United one? I thought that was a good one. He would have been with Jebitson, which I think Canadian fans will have liked. Any championship team though, really. Honestly, I'll take him as Sunderland. Come on, come to Sunderland, Kone. That whole I do believe he's going to go to Sheffield United though. I do believe that's going to happen. I believe when that fell through, it was a time thing. I think January window when the MLS isn't happening, I truly believe he'll be in England, and hopefully it is with I think it is going to be Sheffield United because I think they want him. I think they still want him. I don't think that was I don't think it was a discussion of we don't want you type thing. It was he'll be there in January. I'd put my money on it. He'll be there in the January window. And another great chance for Canada, but it looks like it came in offside. Oh no, it was a foul, I guess. But again, great efforts. Like they keep getting the ball in the box, and you keep doing that, stuff's gonna happen. We're going to get those goals. We're going to see answers. We're going to see results. Like great stuff. I'm absolutely loving this right now. Absolutely loving this. Oh, Eustachio. Okay, there you go. Good work. Yeah, there's the foul. I knew that was coming. Fuck. Knew that was coming. There's no way he was getting away with that. come on. And again, like Qatar's not sitting back. They're pushing again. We got 20 minutes left with a 2 goal lead. I'm feeling good about this. With a 2-0 lead this game as well, it makes me wonder more this Borean play that this Borean played in the Uruguay game. It's not that I don't want him in. Like remember, I want to see Borean play. It's just I'm so worried on injuries, man. Like I don't know because we've had such the same team over and over and over again. I don't know what injuries mean for us. Obviously, we did really well without Davies. Davies, we missed for 7 games of the qualifying window. We missed them, but we still won those games. We were fine without Davies, and that's massive. So if Davies goes down in the World Cup, we might we might be okay. But other positions, though, we don't know exactly maybe the depth that we carry or hold. It is a gamble, so we'll see over time. But I'm really worried about injuries because they're going to come. Every team's going to be hit with injuries. There's no way that we're going to have all 18 players or whatever who go to the World Cup and not an injury. Like I can't see it. Like right now, Jonathan Osorio's hurt, Buchanan's hurt, Hutchinson's hurt. So just those players alone right now, you never know. So hopefully they're back for the World Cup, especially Hutchinson, especially Buchanan, because those are important players for us. But if they're not healthy, sure we have the players on the pitch right now. Like we have K in, we have Piet in, we have the players to step up. It's just if those players get injured, I just don't know. And I would like to see Waterman play. I want to see St. Clair play. Canada's pushing again. Look, we're pushing it into the box, and it's into the box. There you go. Good defense. Qatar's like they look decent. Like I don't think Qatar looked terrible. We got 2 early goals, and that put Qatar on their back foot. I think that's one of the things right now. I'm not saying that we don't deserve it. We deserve this win. We're playing better than Qatar. But I think the 2 early goals kind of like bit Qatar on the ass. And now they're struggling trying to find an answer to it. And that's okay. Like it happens. But Qatar look okay. Like they could be a decent team to watch in this World Cup. Especially in Qatar and the heats that they're playing in. They could surprise the people. They're used to this weather. Most of these players play in the Qatar League. So these guys could surprise a lot of people. I still think Senegal and Netherlands are coming out of that group. But who knows? Like you never know. Like World Cup hosts, like I said before, like they're a different nature. They do different shit. They pull surprises out of their ass. So we'll see. But come on, it's great to see Canada playing like this. Absolutely amazing. Go on. Again, we're playing such high up on the ball. Like we're not allowing Qatar to play the game that they want. Like you see their high line, they're trying to pressure, they're trying to push, but they're giving our defenders so much room. They're not putting pressure on us. We're allowed to move the ball around and not feel any real consequence or attempting it or whatever. We're looking decent. And look, now we got a throw in, and then who's coming on here? Mark Anthony K is coming on for Eustachio. So yeah, again, K is another one where he has to prove himself. We'll see where Mark Anthony K could go from here. He's like we said earlier in the podcast in the stream, like he's a wild horse for me. I don't love him. I don't hate him. I think he's part of the team. I think personnel wise they like him. I just when it comes to his decision making, when it comes to his overall skill, I don't know where Mark Anthony stands in this squad. I think he's a sub, and how much minutes he'll get during the World Cup, I think will be minimum. Especially if we go in with a healthy roster. I don't know how much Mark Anthony K actually sees, but that's okay. He's here now, and I think he has a lot to prove. So we'll see if he can do it. And Brime again in the box, just opportunities, man, so close. We have about 15 minutes left in the game. Still 2-0 Canada. Great work, great effort. They're doing a hell of a job. This just gets me more excited for that Uruguay game because I'm worried about it. I don't know how we're going to look. We're going to be on our back foot a lot, so it's going to be exciting to see. But beating Qatar like this, I'm not. I know Qatar's not Uruguay's level, but it's exciting to see. I am excited to see how we do against Uruguay, especially after this performance because this just gives us the confidence, and we're going to run with it. It's great to see. I love to see it. I look again, we're just on the ball, and Qatar's not pushing. The liners come up. They're giving us that freedom, and it's honestly the best that we can honestly ask for at this moment in time. In all honesty, because if you're not going to put pressure on us, you're allowing us to do so much with this ball. And look, oh, damn it, that could have been a good talk. But on their counter, like Qatar's counter, look at this counter. Like they do look dangerous. It's not like they're totally coming out. Like it's not like they're totally wasting the ball or look useless on the ball because they don't. They don't. They look like they have a good counter. We're just having a solid defense right now. Canada is showing a very good defense at the moment, and I'm loving it. So again, about 15 minutes left of the game. 2-0 Canada. We got early goals from Jonathan David and Kyle Laren. This is what we want to see. This is the type of game you want to see at the World Cup on how well we play, and obviously it's going to be a harder challenge. I don't think Qatar matches any of the groups we have, any of the teams we have in the group. I don't think they do. Um, I know a lot of people are thinking maybe Morocco, but I'm telling you, I don't think Morocco is going to be that easy walkover that people are hoping for. I don't think so. But yeah, like Qatar make a sub and they're coming back up the field. But again, there's a little Kone. Great effort for Kone. Kone has grew so much from his first Canadian appearance throughout this season with Montreal. Like Kone's gonna be a very important player for us. Even if it's not this World Cup in the next year or two, Kone is gonna be one of our more important players for sure. He's looking too good. He's looking way too good. And there we go. Qatar's outside that box. They're gonna have a strike here. But look, Canada's doing such a good job of pushing them away from the box, giving them zero opportunities. Like he had to pass back. There was no other option there than to pass back. It's all he had. And then look, we force him back to the goalie. Like that's what we need. That's the defense we have. Great work. Great fucking work from Canada. Great job. Look, here they go. Like you just look at the Canadians on the field and where Qatar's forced the long ball there. They have no other option. They need to get through there and they don't. And it's great. Great efforts. And again, just not a lot of pressure on our players. Look how they look at that. Like we're able to make those long balls, and I need to shut up. Okay, that was a little bit of a fucking little fuck up there, but it was just one of those the way the ball bounces sometimes. Just doesn't always bounce in your favor. But the ball's been pretty good to us. Hey, nothing too crazy. Borjan's been good. Our defense have been solid. Early goals made us look a lot better. It was great. Look, Qatar, great work. They're struggling to find that shot, and that's something our defense is doing a really good job of. Is there's the shot. Good save though for Borjan. Like I said, Borjan's playing a good game. Borjan's doing a good job. Look at that. Yeah, like they were struggling to find the shot, so they had to take it there, or they weren't going to get it. And Borjan just playing such a good game. I'm a big fan of Borjan. I do not. There's some players when they retire from Canada, it's going to be hard to watch. Borjan, Hoylett, Hutchinson. Arfield was a hard one for me. I really like Scotty Arfield. But when like it gets like 20 years from now and Jonathan David and Davies has to go, like that could be our primary in 20 years if we don't develop players. Those two go, we're gonna be done. I mean, that's what the CPL is here for, though, right? Is to create these opportunities. We now have Absi playing over in France, who could really grow. We have Lattori playing in Scotland, who could really grow into the Canadian squad. We have options now that started in the CPL, and hopefully just grows more and more from there. But time will tell for sure. Time will obviously tell for that. Go on. Again, like Qatar's looking, and they're forced the. That was a good ball from Qatar. Our defense is opening a little bit more, but look at that. Great ball by Miller. Hoylett works together. There you go. And Borjan he leads the back line so well. And Borjan has a bloody attitude on him, I tell you. He is an angry man at times, but it's great to see. I was at the Canada game when we beat the US in the Nations League match. And I remember in the last couple minutes or so, I was at the front line, and Borjan's fucking yelling at the ball boys to go hide the ball. It was hilarious. It was absolutely funny as hell. But like Borjan can have a bit of a temper on him, but it's great to see because it's just it's just pure passion, nothing but passion. Hoylet! Oh, I can't make much of that. Fuck. But again, like the third goal is coming. We only have 10 minutes left, but the third goal is coming. Look at that. Rate it. Oh, that was not good. Brime, that was not a good ball, but that's okay. When you have the 2-0 lead, you're allowed to make mistakes like that. Let's just say that. But yeah, the Hornets, that was great. Unfortunately, just couldn't do much with it at the end. Unfortunately. But again, if you're watching the stream for the first time, thank you for joining us. Um, Make sure to subscribe so you can get more content. We do we do weekly videos. We also have a podcast where we upload to at least once a week, and we also have the Uruguay game coming up against Canada, where we will be playing, where we do the watch along as well as Canada play Uruguay, and hopefully subscribe as well because hopefully if it goes well, we will be doing this for every one of Canada's World Cup games as well. Hopefully, we'll see. Um, Potential is there, and we love doing this stuff. We want to create more Canadian content for you guys, and we're going to do it as much as we can. We have like 3 videos a week on YouTube at least. We have at least one podcast a week on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that stuff. 13 Man Sports. If you go to that website, we have writers all the time producing stuff. If you want to stream earlier, you would have saw Paul. Paul's one of the big writers on there. So yeah, if you want, just drop us a subscribe, go like, just keep in touch with us, keep in contact, and you'll see all of our Canadian stuff and the podcast, and more importantly, the watch along on Tuesday where we play Uruguay. I cannot wait for that one because again, this game 2-0 with the confidence of this young team is just making me more excited, more and more excited to see us. Sorry. Totally missed that play. Qatar just missed. But yeah, it makes us really excited for just that Uruguay game, just the confidence of this young team. It's great to see. Okay, so I missed that strike, but he tried to get Borjan off. That was not a bad attempt from Qatar. But again, it comes down to what we're giving them, and that's what we gave them. They're not getting a lot of options through. So that was a great play from Qatar. Good job. But again, like, oh, come on, you run on that. Put the pressure. Qatar's pushing a little bit more now. They're opening it up a bit, giving Canada's defense a little bit of a hard time in the last like 7 minutes or so. Look at that, beautiful. Good job by K. And now we're just back on the ball, just taking our time, passing around. They're not putting the pressure. They're not forcing us to do anything. So here we go, just putting the pressure in. But we're not forced to put that pressure. Look, just pass it back, pass it back. You're not gonna put the pressure on us. We're not gonna force the ball up, right? Because we don't need to. Like you're gonna let Kamal Miller stand there for that long when you're down in the game. That's not a good. Like that's unexcusable. Like I understand it's a friendly. They may not care if this goes anywhere for them at that sense, but it is what it is. And good job by Canada. Like we're playing to the Qatar's game. In all honesty, we're playing to Qatar's game. They're not gonna pressure us. We're not gonna force it. There you go. Once we get into a little bit deeper, they put the pressure on a little bit more. But yeah, look at that. But then we screw it up and do a pass like that. But okay, here we go. And look, we get it right back. And what's the plan? Put it back to Miller and relax. There's Liam Miller to Kamal Miller. And now just play the game. Don't go anything crazy. They're not going to force it. Don't push it. But we still want that third goal. The third goal is there. It's just about getting it in. Like in the box, we've looked good. We've had chances. We've had good chances in the box. Look at that. Oh, fuck's sake. Yeah, I'd argue that too, buddy. Don't worry. Jeez. It's a good job. Great work. Come on. And again, Qatar's just looking for that opportunity to find that hole, but we're not giving it. The Canadian defense has been solid all game. We're not giving Qatar a lot. And whatever they do find, Borjan's just top of his game right now. Borjan's making big saves. He's making big opportunities. And you don't have to make an outstanding save for it to be a big save. It just has to be that moment of knowing that the team can rely on you regardless of where you are. Good job. That's good work. Look at that. Great work from Kone. And we get into Liam Miller. And again, Liam Miller's been good since coming on. Kone's been really good since coming on. He's really impressed me right now. We got about 4 minutes left. 2-0 still. And come on, Miller. Been solid back there. We basically have a whole new front up on as well that who was on originally. And they look just as good as the other guys. They look just as good. There you go. Look at that. Like they want that third goal. They're not done yet. Oh, come on. That's a questionable pen there, buddy. Come on. Took that Alistair Johnson like nothing. You didn't get anything from that? Fuck off. That's a foul. The second one maybe a little bit weak, but that first one was definitely a fucking foul on Larea here. Look at that. That Larea one was definitely a foul. And yeah, that one's arguable as well. If you're not able to see, right at the top of the box, Larea was taken down, and then Alistair Johnson ran into the box, and he gets blocked off on his way. So Canada's getting a free kick outside of the box from the Larea foul. The Alistair Johnson one was let go. They're coming back to the Larea challenge. And it looks like Loria's still going to be the one to put this in. Oh, no, it could be Miller. No. Oh! Come on, Miller off the fucking crossbar. Oh. How does he miss that? Fuck, come on. Oh my god. You can't believe it. I can't believe it. Holy shit. Great header. Great header from Ugbo to put that on goal. Great delivery from Hoylett. And then fucking Miller. Oh my god. Thank God we have that lead. Because missing that one and walking off the field is going to hurt. Oh my god. Oh. Fuck. That was a great effort. There's Qatar looking like Alistair Johnson's got player performance of the match according to One Soccer. And yeah, I think we can agree with that. Defense has been so good for Canada. Here goes Liam Miller. Oh, fucking stopped right at the top of the box. Good challenge too. Like we're hungry for that third goal. I don't know if we'll get it. Brahim got tucked down. Charles Andreas Brahim got tucked down. Yeah, I'm not sure if he's all right though, but we'll see. Yeah, see, that's a foul. That's got to be at least a yellow. I think the yellow did come out there though. Yeah, it did. You got the yellow. So we have a minute left before stoppage time. Still 2-0 Canada. Come on, boys. Such a good, solid performance. Again, we're heading into our last minute. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Tuesday for Uruguay, so make sure to subscribe so you can watch us for Canada versus Uruguay. And if you're a betting guy, look at Bet99 and use the code 13mansports when signing up. Or sorry, 13mansports1 when signing up. And you'll get some perks to signing up with that code with Bet99 if you are a betting man like myself. All right, come on. We got a minute left. I want that third goal. I know it's here. I know we got that third goal. Come on. I know it's here. We're pushing. We're challenging. Come on, Miller off the crossbar. We had Ugbo who was blocked right in front of the goal. We got only 2 minutes added. So we got 2 minutes left of the game. So come on. And remember to stay tuned at the end of the match as well, where even though I'm signing off, we will have a new YouTube video uploaded for you shortly after the match is done. It's part of our Canada Day special for you. You got a stream and 2 videos today. All right, 2 minutes left. Canada has the ball. They're looking for the third goal. They're looking like you look how some of these guys are moving. They want the third goal. Got Kone on the ball now. He finds Charles Brime. And he's just working, but he's worked it to the wall. Hoylett! Fuck, just wide, Junior Hoylett. I love when he scores as well, and he just missed it. Just missed that far post. Oh my god, what a fucking strike too. Come on, Hoylett. Oh. The Qatar has the ball. They're trying to make something out of this game. There's not much from Qatar. I think they've looked okay, but again, a pretty dangerous counter, but they can't get much through our defense. Defensively, all around the field, we've been good. We haven't gave up much. And the shots they have got through have been pretty easy for Borean, which have made them big saves at the time. Come on. I would love to see a clean sheet here too. With literally, I didn't know what to come into this game. So a clean sheet for Canada would be absolutely amazing at this point. Go on. There you go. Liam Miller. Not great touch, but he's still in the box. Oh, rebound. Saad keeps it, and that's game. You gotta think. Yeah, that's game. Canada win 2-0, baby, over Qatar. Great game to lead us into the World Cup. Can't wait to see what's going on in November. Again, we'll be back on Tuesday when Canada play Uruguay. It'll be myself, Paul, Andre. We'll all be here. Thank you so much for watching. Click subscribe on YouTube. Like the video. We'll be back on Tuesday, like I said. Make sure to check us on Spotify. Make sure to check us out on whatever there is. We're on everything. Twitter, Facebook, whatever. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. And Allez la Rouge, allez.